Hi, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our Youth Lead Ambassadors webinar. My name is Ephraim Bakale. I'm an Atlas Co Fellow and Youth Engagement Fellow for the Youth Power 2 Learning and Evaluation Project at Making Sense International. Today we have four of my colleagues and one Youth Lead Ambassador and one YAG member have joined me for today's webinar. And we're going to talk about agriculture and agricultural sustainable development in youth. We will virtually travel to Uganda and Nepal to discuss about youth and their role, relationships, opportunities with agricultural development. We have invited our former Youth Lead Ambassador member and also our current YAG member, Kushal, for this webinar. And also Zakios will join us from Uganda. So young people account for a large percentage of the rural population and are often unemployed or underemployed despite the need for labor force in agriculture. And at the same time, agriculture offers the young generation a chance to make a difference by growing enough food to feed the world. And those who who chose it now have the opportunity to generate profit, to generate income for their families, and also alleviating malnutrition and at the same time helping to secure to the sector to adapt to climate change. So on today's webinar, Kushal and Zakios will help us learn more about the current state of youth involvement in agricultural sector in Uganda and Nepal. They will explore youth-led sustainable agricultural programs in those countries. And also they will take us on a highlight on SWOT analysis of agribusiness in Nepal and Uganda. At the same time, they will examine the responsibility of young people, especially leaders in the sustainable agriculture and what the youth can do about this. Finally, also, they will share their own personal experience while working in this sector. So on today's webinar, we have 60 minutes and we'll start by introducing our team members. Sarah, my colleague, will introduce our team members. Then I will introduce our youth lead ambassadors and speakers. Then we'll directly go to our speakers for today to share their experience in this area. Then once we're done with the presentation, I'll come back for a question and answer session. And after that, I will also give Sarah to share us one of our exciting initiatives, which is a mentorship page by YouthLead.org. So with that, I'll give it to Sarah to introduce our team and give us a little bit highlight on YP2LE project.
Thanks so much, Ephraim. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this morning's webinar with our Youth Lead Ambassador and our YAG member. It's really great to see so many of you as part of this conversation this morning. My name is Sarah Sladen. I'm the Senior Youth Engagement Advisor for Youth Power 2 Learning and Evaluation and YouthLead, and I'm also a Technical Advisor at Making Sense, supporting youth engagement. I am part of a much larger team behind YP2LE and YouthLead, and I just wanted to share the slide on the screen here so you can start to get a sense of who we are. A lot of the folks here support our YouthLead platform and our communications efforts, our outreach efforts, our YouthLead podcast, our webinars like today's. So just to give you an idea of who we all are, we are under the direction of Christy Scott and supported by a number of other folks that you may know already from other outreach to the platform. If you'd like to connect with any of us, please feel free to reach out. I'll put my email in the chat as well. Before we dive into this morning's webinar, I want to share a little bit more background about Youth Power 2 Learning and Evaluation, or YP2LE for short. If you're not familiar with YP2LE, but you are familiar with YouthLead, here's how they connect. YP2LE is supported by Youth Power, and Youth Power is a funding source from USAID that is targeted for youth-focused programs specifically. These are programs that support evaluation and research and youth engagement. And the goal of YP2LE is to generate knowledge and promote learning on something called positive youth development, or PYD for short. PYD is a holistic framework for youth development that assumes that all young people have assets that should be invested in through things like inclusion, access, education, and training opportunities. The framework for PYD also promotes youth agency, and we believe that young people's agency can best be supported by an enabling environment. Enabling environments are things like strong networks, they are supportive adults and mentors, youth-friendly services and resources, and youth-friendly policies. So many of the things that our YouthLead ambassadors are focused on and advocating for really comprise how we think about positive youth development and is the focus of YP2LE. We also support these activities through our two platforms. The first is one you probably already know well, which is youthlead.org, serving young change makers. And the second is youthpower.org. And this is focused on youth serving organizations, and both are supported under the YP2LE project. And they're really designed to connect our community, to build your networks, to provide learning events, resources, and education, and also just to be a home for you to be if you're focused on young people, on positive youth development, and on youth engagement. So I'm going to turn it back to Ephraim to talk a bit more about the YouthLead platform. And then as Ephraim mentioned, I'll come back on at the end of the webinar to share more about our new mentorship initiative on youthlead.org. So thanks again to our ambassador and our YAG member for presenting this morning. I'm looking forward to this webinar.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So YouthLead.org was launched in 2018 World Bank Youth Summit. It's a huge global hub for different opportunities of usually young people. And today it includes more than like 12,000 members from around the world. And this platform is a global hub for young people between the ages of 15 and 35 who are working for a positive change and impacting their communities as advocates, activists, volunteers, or entrepreneurs. So if you believe you are a young person and if you believe that you are making a change, so you can join the site by just creating a profile, and within 48 hours of your submission of your profile to the site, you will get approval to be a member. And once you are a member, there are many benefits which I will discuss on the next slide. So what does YouthLead.org offer? So we offer different opportunities, especially network for your own work. And you can also explore many resources for projects and similar opportunities. And you can even get funding by accessing different projects which are posted on our sites on different days, on different events. So you can access or share resources. You can go ahead and share any resource that you think is very helpful for young people out there. And you can also network with your peers, join online discussions. We have a discussion group, so which you can go there and join different discussion groups. So you can also initiate your own discussion. Another opportunity is that we share different opportunities on email, and also you'll get a newsletter which comes to your email every month, and also opportunities like today's webinar can be accessed from the site. So I will also share more on how to join YouthLead and benefit from it at the end of this webinar today. So this amazing picture that you're seeing on the screen right now is the current cohort of YouthLead ambassadors from different parts of the world, and they have represented more than 22 countries from Africa, Asia, South and Central America, East Europe, Eurasia, and other parts of the world. So we have different cohorts, and this is the third cohort. And for this program, about 3,000 young change makers applied to be a YouthLead ambassador, and we've selected 22 young change makers as a YouthLead ambassador for cohort 3. And soon we'll also launch a cohort 4 call. So look out for that one on the youthlead.org or under the events side. So these ambassadors are sharing information about YouthLead with their networks. They're increasing engagement with YouthLead through discussion groups, social medias, and also by sharing their experiences through webinars like this one. So for the current cohort, this is the 9th series of webinar led by YouthLead ambassadors. So I will introduce both our speakers for today. Then I'll leave the floor for them to speak. First one, Zacchaeus Kafero is our current YouthLead ambassador from Uganda. He's also the founder of Katikamu Empowered Youth Development Group, a youth development group that focuses on empowering and supporting young people in agribusiness through hands-on training and exposure to the agricultural value chain. So he's hoping to change the perception, and he's also encouraging participation in the area. Zacchaeus is very passionate about youth development projects and collaborates with many young people across Uganda to help them achieve their dreams. He is also the first prize recipient of the Young Entrepreneurs in Franchising Global Competition. He's interested in agribusiness, climate change, entrepreneurship, green solution, and innovations. So welcome, Zacchaeus, to today's webinar. Now, our second speaker is Kushal. Kushal is from Nepal. He is currently a YouthLead ambassador liaison in the Youth Advisory Group, or also called the YAG. He's very much passionate about environment, activism, and young change making across different platforms. He has completed bachelor's in agriculture. He's highly dedicated towards empowering youth and communities through knowledge sharing, training events, webinars, campaigns in the field of agriculture, environment, and youth empowerment. He's also a winner of Eco Hero Award 2018 and most inspirational ambassador for Tunza Eco Generation. He believes that we are our own leader of positive change and innovation in our community. So both of you, welcome to our today's webinar, and thank you, our audience, for joining us today, both on the Zoom call and also on Facebook Live. So I'll give it to Zacchaeus to start the presentation. Enjoy the presentation, and also feel free, like I said, to write your thoughts and questions in the chat box. Thank you. Zacchaeus, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Ephraim, for the wonderful introduction. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
All right. Okay. So I'll start by giving an overview of sustainable agriculture today. Sustainable agriculture is the practice of production of crops, vegetables, and animals using farming techniques that meet the needs of the present and future generation, while ensuring profitability, environmental health, and social and economic equity. So sustainable agriculture has been identified as one of the pathways to achieving SDG 2, that's Sustainable Development Goal 2, which is aimed at zero hunger, achieving zero hunger by 2030. However, the young people have a role to play, an important role to play in achieving SDG 2. And want to ask ourselves, why? Why the youth? So I believe the young people have an opportunity to make a difference. For example, the average age of a farmer worldwide is 60 years of age. And the world will have to increase its food production by 70% by 2050 in order to meet the food demand by then. So I believe the young people have an opportunity to make a difference by producing enough food to meet the demand then. Then the youth have a population advantage. Currently, 60% of the population in Africa is below the age of 25. So this population can be turned into a youth dividend by empowering them, by educating them, and by giving them opportunities to make an impact in the agriculture industry. Young people are energetic, innovative, and have access to knowledge. For example, young people have been at the helm of novel innovations that have changed the world. Therefore, I believe young people can come up with innovations that can help bring about solutions to mitigate some of the challenges in agriculture. So I want to take you on my journey, my agriculture journey. My involvement in agriculture. I've been, first of all, I'm a young farmer. I'm a youth champion. I encourage and inspire young people to join the agribusiness. I also do capacity building. For example, I train young people in farming and also support young farmers networks. I'm involved in YouthLead advocacy and awareness. For example, me and my colleague Kushal were involved in the recently in contributing to the climate change youth policy. This opportunity was given to us by USAID. So we're able to air some of the issues that impact and affect young people in agriculture. I want to also explore some of the challenges that are faced by young people in agriculture. Markets are turbulent in nature. Therefore, they don't guarantee profitability. There are fewer initiatives collaborating with young farmers. That's both from government and the private sector. There's also an education mismatch. The information that is shared in our education institutions is not relevant to the times. There's also limited ownership of key agricultural assets. For example, young people don't have enough money to purchase land. Then climate change related issues. For example, the current long dry spells and the short rainy seasons. There's also low inspiration because young people say that the agriculture vocations are for poor people. Then there is lack of access to finance and agriculture insurance, among other challenges that we face in the agriculture sector. So those are some of the challenges that I draw from my own experience. Challenges can be turned around into solutions that can even help involve young people in the agriculture industry. So how do we overcome these challenges? I believe that if the key stakeholders can work together, we can be able to solve some of these challenges and also encourage more young people to join the agriculture sector. I believe we can create youth networks whereby young farmers can share experiences and learn from one another. We can give young people a voice. For example, if television stations can share testimonies, then I believe young farmers can get inspired, and even other people who want to join farming can get inspired and join the industry. Then mentorship programs and accelerator programs. These help kickstart young people's careers in agriculture by offering seed funding and support. Policy contribution, like that opportunity we were given to contribute to the climate change policy. It was a good opportunity to share how the young people feel in agriculture. Then greater use of ICT linking agriculture to social media. Since young people are familiar with social media, access to low profit loans, facilitating access to land, markets and credit, improving education in agriculture, just to cover this mismatch issue. So I believe that with these key stakeholders involved, bringing up different solutions, young people can get involved. So I want to share some of the successful initiatives that are championed by young people. There are quite a number, but because of time, I'll share these two. Bavubuka Twekembe. This group has been very keen promoting agribusiness among young people in Uganda and also helping them connect to markets. There's Katikamo Empowered Youth Development Group. This is one that I founded. This is a group that I founded. It has been very instrumental in introducing young people to the to the agriculture value chain, and also exposing them to urban farming. So there are some young people out there who are watching us, and they are wondering, how can we start? Where can we start from? So I just want to share some opportunities where they can start from. I think the links will be shared as I speak. You can leverage on technology. For example, you can sell your produce online on social media. Young people can also join youth networks. For example, the Uganda National Young Farmers Association. Then you can also look out for NGO projects that are directed to empowering young people. For example, Feed the Future, which is run by USAID. Then joining an accelerator program. If you have an idea, this is a good opportunity for you to kickstart it and also get enough support for it to become a success. There's High Innovators program by NSSF that is running right now. Then also you can look out for grants. There are some grant sources like Enable Youth Uganda and YPAD. They are very good grant sources. Then also skilling and training programs. For example, Chagwa Farm, Regenesis Farm, and KCCA Farm Chanja. They offer free training in agribusiness for young farmers. So thank you very much. To you, my colleague Kusha.
Thank you, Jacques, for sharing the insightful presentation with initiatives taken for sustainable agriculture in Uganda. Can we move to the next slide, please? As you all know, the world is facing the myriads of challenges brought about by the continuous population growth, food security issues, natural resources degradation, climate change, etc. The likelihood of addressing these problems is increased if the youth is empowered to become the real catalyst of the change. Youth's contribution to sustainable agriculture is important with farming for future and ensuring food security issues without compromising the environmental issues and creating a healthy ecosystem. So youth play a vital role in meaningfully transforming agriculture. Promoting sustainable agriculture to and by youth will fortify their capacity as productive partners of agriculture development as well. Youth participation and involvement in agri-food systems becomes extremely important, as with their skills, innovative ideas, and energy, they can address multiple challenges that have been faced by our food system now and for the future as well. Hence, youth are the bridge for promoting sustainable agriculture. Next slide, please. Youths are the people who need to take actions. Young generation who are poised to dominate the workforce are more socially as well as environmentally conscious. They are more demanding in terms of sustainability. Our future depends on what we do today, and youth action plays a very vital role in it. It is very necessary to attract and empower youth people to take part in agriculture. Youth people need to take a different view, as agriculture offers great opportunities. The challenges among youth is to understand the current situation in agriculture and take up various agricultural issues, allied and services for sustainability and gainful employment, with emphasis on processing, value addition, marketing, entrepreneurship, and value chain management. So youth representation and engagement in agriculture should be significantly enhanced. Next slide. I'll be sharing my journey, what I have been doing in the field of agriculture. Next slide, please. I have been involved in agricultural projects such as community-based agriculture project in Porewa, Nara, Lamjung, knowledge replication and integration for sustainable agriculture in community in Lamjung itself, which are the agricultural-based farmers campaign. And let's hear our farmer. These are the campaigns where I have been interacting and training farmers to develop the sustainable agriculture. I've also participated in youth conferences like Asian Agriculture Summit and Exhibition, and DICE member of Whole Food Program community in Lumjong Model United Nations. These are the platforms for sharing knowledges and hearing the experiences of youth from the different parts of the country, as well as the different parts, people from different countries as well. I am also in the developers team of different Android applications like BSc Agriculture in Plants Preparation and Aggregate, which are built to support the ICT in agriculture. I have also taken part in various research activities in the field of agriculture. I performed research on the use of locally available plant extract and essential oil for the management of the pest in agriculture. This can be a eco-friendly alternative against pesticide for sustainable agriculture, and integrated pest management is a huge asset to sustainable agriculture. I have also worked with organizations like Youth Thinker Society Lamjung, Pipad Nepal, Tunjai Generation, and to aware people on the issues of climate change and sustainable agriculture as a youth change maker in Nepal. Next slide, please. SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. And so a SWOT analysis is a technique for addressing these four aspects. I, along with my colleague Sabina Regmi, have published a scientific review paper on SWOT analysis of entrepreneurship in Nepal. And I'd like to share some of the findings from our paper here. You can also access the whole paper in the ResearchGate, and the link for that will be available in the chat section. Next slide, please. Talking about the strength, Nepal produces many agricultural commodities due to diversity created by the altitudinal variation that ranges from 60 meters above sea level to 8,848. There are almost 119 agricultural commodities with farmers practicing mixed cropping and livestock integrated in every agroecological regions of the country. Nepal is also very rich in biodiversity. Nepal stands 27th in the world and second in South Asia, as it harbors 3.2% of the whole world flora in it. Nepal government has also prioritized agriculture with introduction of agriculture and livestock insurance, fostering agriculture innovations and agro-entrepreneurship through incentives and grants for youth. This can be a very great strength for the young change makers and the youth to get involved in the field of agriculture. In the recent years, there has also been shift in the consumption patterns by the people moving towards organic foods and high value commodities, which makes agriculture a more stronger field to invest on. Next slide, please. Talking about the weakness of agribusiness in Nepal. In Nepal, the average land holding owned by the household has decreased from 1.1 hectare to below 0.7 hectare in last 20 years. Fragmentation of the land and its degradation and other several issues have creating a greater problem for agriculture. 28% of the total land in Nepal is considered to be degraded as per the reports. This further requires the involvement of sustainable agriculture to solve the issue. Nepal does not possess sound infrastructure for favoring commercialization of agriculture massively. The increased growth of the food and agriculture trade deficit in Nepal is mainly due to low competitiveness in agriculture. A top-down approach on agriculture research, education, and extension, and the ineffective link between technology generation and its dissemination is a huge obstacle to the overall development of Nepalese agriculture sector. Hence, youth involvement is necessary to overcome this weakness and turn this weakness into the strength so that there can be a huge development in the field of agriculture in Nepal. Next slide. Sustainable agriculture practices like organic farming, agroecotourism, beekeeping has huge scope in the context of Nepal. Investment of agri-processing sector to create quality products with high export potentiality can be a huge opportunities for the youths in Nepal. There are some districts in Nepal where the pesticides have not existed, promoting organic agriculture by themselves. Nepal also poses huge potentiality to agritourism, owing to utilization of diverse resources, landscapes, biodiversity, cultural heritage, and unique traditions. Agroecotourism can be a tool to boost the branding of local, organic, and the traditional products as well, along with the development of entrepreneurship in the rural areas and creation of the job opportunities. The climate and the diversity in Nepal also provides opportunities for bee farming, floriculture, and mushroom cultivation, which can be a great field of attraction for the youth to get involved in. Next slide. Talking about the threats to agribusiness in Nepal, extreme events, especially like flood and droughts, have adverse effect on South Asian crop productivity and food supply. Among the countries in South Asia, Nepal is expected to be one of the places which is most vulnerable to climate change. It is considered to be among the fourth vulnerable countries among the global itself. Unorganized trade practices, global competition, and high cost of modern technology are the other threats for agribusiness in Nepal. Young and enthusiastic agriculture graduates and scientists leaving the country in search of more attractive opportunities abroad is also very common in Nepal. As per the reports, 30% of the total number of agriculture graduates produced each year go abroad to study or work. This causes the lack of skilled manpower to invest in the field of agriculture. So, youth investment for agriculture in Nepal is a huge requirement of the time. Next slide. Talking about the youth agro entrepreneurship in Nepal, the condition of youth in Nepal is very critical. More than 36% of the youths are unemployed. And in average, 1,500 Nepali youths out-migrate daily seeking employment abroad. Nepal needs to encourage youths to engage in entrepreneurship with the country for the sustainable enterprise making. Youths are assets for transforming agriculture in Nepal. Entrepreneurship can be a powerful tool to fight youth unemployment with a targeted innovation and development. Youth can be at the forefront of revitalizing the agriculture sector, and agri-entrepreneurship could be a potential source to gain employment for the unemployed youths, along with enhancing the sustainability and the economy of the nations. There are already few youth-led startups that have been running in Nepal to promote the sustainable agriculture. I'll be sharing few of them today here. Next slide. One of the youth-led startup that is running in Nepal currently is Metro Kheti. With the spirit of transforming the urban cities of Nepal into sustainable, clean and green urban environment, and a group of young people from diverse educational background have teamed up to form Metro Kheti. This startup has a vision to create self-sustainable cities and encourage the urban household in Nepal to start growing their own food at the unutilized spaces of their houses. The team dreams to create pollution-free, green and organic city in Nepal. And the next startup is Team Honeyponics. Team Honeyponics is the next youth initiative which promotes waste management and organic farming technology with orthom and vermicomposting in Nepal. Next slide. The next youth-led startup is Best Math Honey, which is also being promoted by young change maker in Nepal. Best Math Honey has been closely working to promote honey hunters of Nepal by providing highest quality of authentic mad honey to the people around the globe. They are also targeting to employ more youth in the village and create opportunities with micro enterprises. These youth-led startups create the best mad honey from the local farmers and bring it to the market, supporting the agribusiness as well as empowering the local farmers, supported by the youth. And the next startup is Smart Krishi. This has been a first initiative in the field of ICT in agriculture as a smartphone application, which provides interaction with farmers to experts in the field. This also provides daily market price and live weather details for its user, so that the farmers and the youths in the country can get direct access to the happenings, news, and the activities in the field of agriculture directly via the use of internet and the application. Next slide. Talking about the recommendations to the youth and the people around the globe. Youth platform and the networks for young people play a very important role to be successful in driving agriculture transformation. Youth networks present dynamic platform to create a community of learning and mentorship and share their activities. And the platform like YPAD and YouthLead can be best for engagement for the young change makers. It is also very necessary to change the perception of the youth towards agriculture and provide capacity building opportunities and support for their active participation in sustainable agriculture development. Youth agri-entrepreneurship should be promoted with grants, incentives, trainings, and engaging policymakers and leaders to support the sustainable agriculture and the youth who are interested in this field. Youth should also be able to explore the new frontiers of the knowledge and innovations in the field of agriculture and exchange ideas and technologies with encouraging youth to adopt the agriculture as an economic activity as well as to promote the sustainability and environmental protection. Thank you. Now, William, heading towards the question and answer session.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Kushal. Thank you, Zekios, for a very interesting presentation on especially sharing your experiences in both Uganda and Nepal. I think innovative projects like that one and also engaging youth in this sustainable agricultural development area is very much valuable. So we have received few questions actually from Kristen from Kenya, our youth lead ambassador. So I will forward that question, then also give the audience to raise their hand and share us your question, or also you can just go to the chat box and write down your question. So the first question goes for Zekios. It goes like, besides the on-farm agriculture, are there off-farm agriculture that you have also ventured or rather motivated the youth to venture in? So she's interested to know the off-farm agriculture that the youth are venturing in. That's for you, Zekios. And the second question from Kristen also is for Kushal actually. How do you support youth to engage and participate in climate change initiatives in agriculture to secure their livelihoods? So her question is more of on engaging young people in initiatives in sustaining livelihoods. So the other question, third one, is for both of you. What would you say to a young person who wants to promote sustainable agricultural development, but lives in an environment where zero support is provided? So any advice or encouragement for them? So in an environment where there is no support, but they're interested to promote sustainable agriculture. So what's your encouragement, words of encouragement, or what's your experience in such kind of environment? So those are the three questions I've received, but also I'll come back again for another question in answer session. So Kushal and Zekios, feel free to answer those questions. Thank you very much.
Answering the question from Kristen, where she asked about how do I encourage and empower youth in the field of climate change and agriculture. I have been working with young organizations like YPAD Nepal and Youth Thinker Society, where we empower youth with training and services too. Along with that, we also collaborate with local organizations and local government to provide them with the requirements and take their problems to the research required facility and solve them. Apart from that, we also conduct different activities like sharing the stories of the successful agribusiness and the stories of the farmers, so that those stories can be adopted by the other peoples who have been facing the same issues and are willing to work on that. We also help youth to connect with the opportunities with the platforms like YouthLead, where different opportunities are available, and the local organizations which are directly or indirectly supporting via funding, mentorship, and different activities. And the next question, talking about if you are not having any support locally, it doesn't mean that there are no supports available. There are different supports that are available globally. You can join to the global platforms like YouthLead, where different opportunities related to agriculture and youth are posted on regular basis. There are different competitions, grants, and different training materials available over there. Apart from that, there are also different global networks like Wi-Fi, which is the platform for the young professionals, which also provides training, youth conferences, and also grants for the young change makers. Apart from that, there are also different competitions and mentorship activities growing around the world. I encourage you to participate in those activities and take your experiences and enthusiasm to next level and take the best out of you. Thank you.
All right, to answer Christine's question, yes, we get involved in off-farm agriculture activities and encourage young people to do off-farm agriculture. For example, entering into agro-processing. This is part of our training because we've also been experimenting with packaging spices lately, just before the lockdown, and hopefully we'll be putting some of our things on the market. So I'm very involved in off-farm agriculture, and I also encourage young people to do a lot of value addition. Thank you.
Perfect, Zakios, thank you. One last question for both of you, which is a very interesting question from Walter. How do you think agriculture can be made attracting, like spicy for the youth today? How can we attract young people to join the field of agriculture? So that's a final question for both of you. Please tell us how we can engage in agriculture. Please convince us if you could try. Thanks. I'll give you 1 minute both. Thank you.
Talking about how we should involve and why we should involve in the field of agriculture. Agriculture is not just an occupation. It is for us to feed the world. It is not just for us to take action for the employment. And apart from that, for the youth, it has been also for the providing opportunity in the form of agro entrepreneurship, where they can pursue their passion to feed the world, as well as bring transformation in the agriculture with the different involvements and the modernization of the technology as well. As well as there are different grants and incentives allowed to the youth so that they can pursue in the field of agriculture, from the local government to the different NGOs and INGOs too. So youth should take this opportunity as a part of employment as well as the process of feeding the whole world. Thank you.
To add on to my colleague's contribution, for us, we try to showcase agriculture as cool, coming up with innovative ways on how to plant, using some smart techniques on how to grow crops and how to rear crops, and making it easy making it easy on the eye. For example, if I'm to post a photo on social media, I'll be putting on my jeans, I'll be looking smart and quite appealing to my fellow young people. So those are some of the ways of making it spicy. And it would be also nice that when they're writing about agriculture, they put up faces like mine, for example. Yeah, thank you.
Well,
To you, Ephraim.
Thank you very much, Zakios and Kushal, for the insightful presentation. And one final comment from Olaunmi. He is a graduate student in international agricultural development at the Texas A&M University with the interest in food security and youth empowerment and gender productivity. He said he is also a farmer growing maize and cassava in Nigeria. And he said agriculture is indeed a wise pursuit for youth, and we must play our role in community building and transformation. Thank you very much for that comment, Olaunmi. With that, I will give it to Sarah, my colleague, to share with us a very interesting new project that we're doing, which is a mentorship page on the youthlead.org. So she will give us some highlights about this program and also how you all can join us and benefit from it. Sarah, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Ephraim. And thank you, Kushal and Zahias, for your presentation. This was really interesting. Got some good questions in the chat. I just want to take a few minutes in the time we have left to share more about our new mentorship initiative on YouthLead.org. This is a dedicated space on the platform for resources, information, events, and networking opportunities, specifically focused on mentorship and mentorship-related topics to help you grow and develop your skills. I'm just going to walk through quickly what you can expect from the page. This is on YouthLead right now. You can go to the next slide, that'd be great. Thank you. So the goal of the page is to provide knowledge and information about mentorship specifically. So how to be a mentor and grow your skills as a mentor, how to find and cultivate healthy mentorship relationships, to explore the concepts of mentorship as part of positive youth development. So for example, if you yourself are leading an organization or program and you're interested in incorporating mentorship as a part of that, our goal is to provide you with resources and information for how you might do that. We also want to provide opportunities for more professional growth and networking. The page links to a discussion group that we'll invite all of you to join. And then we'll also be hosting live learning events with our team and with mentorship initiative partners over the next year. Next slide. Let's go to the next one so we can show where this is located on the platform. So if you're looking for this page, we just did a soft launch. It is located under the initiatives tab. If you click on initiatives at youthlead.org, you'll see mentorship. And if you click on that link, it will take you directly to the page. On the page, you'll find 3 navigation options. The first is to our resource library. If we could go to the next slide. And in the resource library, you'll find a number of different resources, which I'll talk about momentarily. The second tab is an opportunity to connect with YouthLead members. This will take you to a dedicated discussion group for topics related to mentorship. You can use this page to ask questions about mentorship, answer questions about mentorship if you yourself are a mentor or a peer advisor, or just to brainstorm ideas for resources, information, where to find mentorship programs. It's really meant to be a space for our members on the YouthLead platform to talk about and connect on mentorship topics. And then the final tab on the homepage will connect to our partner page. We are currently recruiting partners for the mentorship initiative, and their profiles will be added to this page as they come on board, so you can learn more about who they are and the resources that they offer. Next slide. So if you click on our resources tab, you'll be taken to a page with, it's really a resource library. And we've focused those options in the resource library around a few key areas. The first batch of resources is focused on being a mentor. So this is for someone who's interested in growing your mentorship skills, being a mentor to others, to your peers. This will be a place where you can find more information for how to do that. The second option will be to find a mentor. So if you're looking for how to cultivate mentors, how to develop a healthy relationship with a mentor, how to approach someone and make a pitch, the resources there will be focused on helping you do that. As I mentioned, the third category is learning about mentorship. So again, concepts, what is it, how is it applied? And then finally, the last section is on mentorship programs. So this is meant to help you find programs that exist out there around the world focused on mentorship specifically, and that include networks of mentors with whom you can connect. So we have included a number of programs in that page already, but we also invite you all as members of YouthLead. If you've been a part of a mentorship program that made a difference for you, that you'd like to recommend in your home country, in your region, we would love to hear from you. These programs can be in multiple languages. We're looking for a lot of different types of mentorship programs from around the world so that we can better serve all of our members and your different needs. Next slide. So as I mentioned, we have the discussion group here. This will take you into what you probably already are familiar with, which are our standard discussion groups on YouthLead. Our team will be curating Q&A sessions in this space as well. So if you do want to join, we invite you to go to the discussion group, join the page, and then start contributing to the conversation there. If you have any questions for how to do that, you can also reach out to our team directly. And Ephraim, let's go ahead and skip to the last slide under contribute. So as I mentioned, we have just launched this page. It is in the beta phase, but we are hosting a live launch event on July 30th for all YouthLead members. This will be an opportunity for you to really get to know the page, the content, and ways you can partner. We are looking for real-time feedback from our members for how we can improve the page. And there's a lot of other ways you can contribute to this. So if you want to go to the page and you have feedback, you have ideas, get in touch with us and let us know what we can improve. We also want to know what mentorship topics are most important to you. What are the kinds of skills you're looking to grow? What kind of information are you looking for? We want to hear from you about that. The July 30th event will also be an opportunity to share your ideas with our team. As I mentioned, join the discussion group. And then of course, if you have mentorship resources, programs, or other information that you want to share with us, please get in touch. You can email us at infoyl@youthpower.org, or you can contact me directly at sarahs@makingsense.com. And we really look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much again, Ephraim. I know we're pretty much out of time, so I'm going to turn it back to you for the rest of the information about YouthLead.
Thank you very much. We're on time, Sarah. Thanks for sharing the information on mentorship page. So we've shared the link to join the mentorship page on the chat box, and also the email addresses if you have any question about it. And with that, I will give you 2 minutes of highlight on how you can join also the YouthLead. So the mentorship page is also under inside the YouthLead site, the youthlead.org website. So if you are a young person and a leader or a change maker or an organization working on the YouthLead areas, haven't yet joined the youthlead.org, we really encourage you to do so. And this will enable you to network with other young change makers and join discussion groups. And also as a member, you can always post content. When we say content, it can be resources, blogs, short videos, events, funding opportunities, and also other discussion groups. So by doing all this, also you can also get more visibility for your own project. You can create a profile, and on that profile you can have upload your projects that you are doing right now. And for all of these activities, there is a contribution which brings points, and also based on those points you'll get badges. And there is the YouthLead newsletter, like I mentioned before, which highlights young change makers and other opportunities. And also we're pretty much available on social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at YouthLead Global. And also you can reach out to speakers. They are available on the youthlead.org, and also they will have a discussion about this topic by next week. So you can also join there and share the thoughts and questions also. So thank you again for joining us, and we hope you'll join the next webinar, which will be the last webinar for the cohort 3 of YouthLead ambassadors. We've done 9 webinars and we'll be doing the last one next week, which will be on the future of work for young people. Kristen and David will be talking about social entrepreneurship and also soft skill. And this will be at the same time, 9 a.m. up to 10 a.m. Eastern time on July 16th. We want also to thank our sponsors. We have various sponsors who are promoting YouthLead to their youth networks, and also their contributing resources, opportunities, like funding opportunities also. So our sponsors are offering different expertise, knowledge, and also various topics. You will hear about them in the future also on different webinars. Thank you very much, everyone. Our YP2LE team, Sarah, Cole, Gloria, and Gail, and our audience both on Facebook Live and Zoom, and our amazing YouthLead ambassador, and also our YAG member. I've seen audience from different parts, from Senegal, Dakar, Monrovia, Liberia, Nigeria, South Africa, Madagascar, Argentina, Zimbabwe, and so on. So with that, I will invite you to check our YouthLead.org, and under the YouthLead.org, you'll find events, and under that, you can access all these webinars, past webinars, and future upcoming webinars also. And we hope to see you next time. Until then, please stay safe, have a great time, and goodbye from all of us. Bye.